over to the Stuart's Camel Farm. John's got a couple of camels over there. It's their turn to sit down for the first time. So I've got my rope in the bag here. We're going to bring Mungie over. Mungie already knows his job, he's now leading the way. And he can sit and the other guys can watch that. So I put my 2 ropes on here. 16mm rope, 10 metres long, around the legs for the sitting down. This will be day number 1. So the other good tool I use is a hook. Hooks are good. Pretty simple. I've just got a bit of gum tree with a tent peg on it. So when we get the rope down, instead of getting in around the legs, we just use the hook. Up. You remember the hook, don't you? You don't have it anymore. So these guys over here, they've been on the farm. Buxton's grown up here. Omar used to be a bull. Omar was in a yard and a lot of tourists were around, and he got a little bit snarly at him sometimes, which can often be bad when you've got camels sitting around that position. People go out to pat them, they get a bit nervous and they move away from them, so it can teach camels a fair bit of bad habits. So we're going over, we'll sit them down today, see how they go. A lot different to wild bull camels, getting them out of the bush, but it's still a job putting the rope around the leg to get them down. So it'll be interesting to see their response today. There, big fella. Omar coming. That's a good idea to have an already trained camel around in this situation, because they either see that he's sitting down, words, push, they're smart enough to know the job, what's going on. Doesn't mean they're going to do it straight away, we're still probably going to have to use that rope, but at least they see it. So, good big fella. All a bit exciting, isn't it? You got your first pack saddle today, didn't you? Couple of ropes, about 10 metres long, good length for the sitting. There you going this morning, Buxton. This is Buxton, he's a sweet camel, real friendly. So I'm hoping he'll take to this really simply. Like at first it's a bit of a thing, you know, getting a rope around the leg to sit down. So doesn't mean he's going to be calm and quiet about it, but I'd say he'll get it pretty quick. So we're going to use these poles today. This is their shade shelter. So once again, we're just putting these here. This will stop the camel if he's fighting the rope and spinning around and end up with his head stuck to the pole. So this keeps them on only being able to move back and forth like that. So we're using a couple today. Top one there, bottom one, a bit like a rock and roll wrestler's rope. Rightio, we've got that in place. Put a hitch on the pole now, and we're going to bring Omar over for the first crack. Okay, so this is Omar. Omar had a bit of a reputation, a bit of a front legger. He's a bit of a wary camel. You'll see this is what come in. You know, that head coming up, the white arcs in the top of the eyes. Okay, so at the start we just want to bring his head down a little bit, let him relax. He's a fairly nervy camel, so that's why we're going to start out doing him. We start out doing the other ones. If he's a nervy camel, he's going to watch it. By the time we go and get him, he's going to be, I'm out of here. So we're going to start with him. So with the ones with the heads up and stuff like that, like I said, a bit dangerous with the front legs. Okay, so we wanted to slowly pull his head in a little bit. So we're using this hitching pole again. Get his head down to a bit of a level, get him under a little bit of control. All right, big fella. Down there, big fella. So we're going to test his response with the front legs. Got that little noose in there. Sometimes it can work easy, you can just tap it on their foot and they may just step into it. So we want to wait till his leg's back a bit, and that's it. If the leg's forward, he's always going to step back. So if we can get that leg back, put this in front. Stand there, big fella. Okay, we've got his foot. Just want to let him relax with that for a second. Keeping it firm. Just checking his response. It's cool. He's not throwing any front legs. That's a good sign so far. He's not rearing up, trying to kick. So we just want to relax here. Keep a bit of pressure on. You're right, big fella. Bit of pressure. Okay, let that get through your system a bit. Alright, mate, I'll get the hook in. Get the pressure on that. Alright.
Step back over.
That's all right. Wind out the sun, mate. Hey, you've got the foam shower going. Pretty natural first reaction. Let him calm there a little bit. Wait for him to take the pressure off the leg. A little bit of a nudge there. That's where you want him. Make it take hours. You want to prepare yourself. Have your water out, whatever you've got to do. You've got to be here 8 hours doing that, you stay here for 8 hours. Someone goes straight away. We'll see how we go with it. Whoosh. Whoosh. In that position, he's thinking about it. Not quite going. Don't eat your leg. You see, he almost thought about it then. He was going down, then he's like, nah, just been a bit rebellious. What I'm doing here, just putting a bit of pressure this side. Like I'm pushing him that way. And then pulling back this way. Push. 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 Just to disbalance him a little bit. Push. And as you can see, it nearly works. He's getting there. Sometimes the wild ones are easier. They've been out there, they've been challenging themselves like that. But just because you've got a camel on the farm for years, doesn't mean he's going to be any easier than a wild camel. Okay? Push, 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 push. There you go. Push, 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 push. It really helps the level of the head when the head's right up. Just brought his head in a bit there and he's come down to his knees, so we're just letting him sit there in this position. Releasing it all a little bit, let him relax. If he gets up again, we'll tense it up. Push. Which way are you going to go, mate? Push. Push. Got to finish going to the toilet first. You can see it doesn't worry him. He's relaxing. He knows what we're doing. Hey, a smart animal. Just likes the challenges. Push. Hey. Push. 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 But once again, we're not rushing it, we're just letting him relax here in this position. He just got up then, we tighten it all up again. This is a good way to train him. Give him a bit of time to work it out. Don't just rush into it and barrel him down. Give him time to use that brain. So we've got the rope pretty loose here, and he's just casually sitting there. He's having to think about it right now. As I said, we're just chilling with him now, giving his brain a chance to think about it. Okay, like anything, humans, animals, better off letting them work it out. Okay, rather than just forcing someone into something, they don't learn much. Give them a chance to think. Push, 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 push. Couple of reminders there, nudge on the rope, push, push. You can only stay there for so long with his bum in the air. Okay? So you can see there, he's not screaming, he's calm right down. That's just protest in a camel. It's not pain, it's not frightened or anything, it's just protest. All right, mate, come on, that's it. Push, 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 push. Push, push, push. So he's just reacted again, got up, he's fighting it, that's okay. The more he does this, the better it's going to be. If they just sit down straight away, you're always wondering when something's coming. This is what we want. We want them to get all this fight out of him. Push, 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 push. So you can see the fold in the leg. They bend like that at the front, drop with the knees, they fold up quite well. Okay. This is more of an ankle, the high one on the back end of the camel, not round the foot there, but up there, and the knees up there. So he's got a three-way joint. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Oh. So because his leg's tied up, it's hard for him to kick. The biggest reaction is his head swinging round to bite, but John's got him over there. It gives us a chance to get in and touch the animal too. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. There you go. Couple more protests, but sitting down he's doing. So let's just give him the chance to go in there and touch him. Okay, we've got him roped up. This is the biggest fear of him. What's going to happen? They're not just the ones that sit down and panic and... So he's wearing out a bit now, a bit safer for me to get in there. I'm just putting the entry on that leg. And now we can relax and let the camel do this for himself. You don't want to get in and do this too early, otherwise take your teeth out. So we can actually have a bit of a relax now. Get our breath back. And if he goes for a fight for it, well, he's doing the work himself. Whoosh. You can see we're not doing anything now, he's figuring it out. Whoosh. 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 Meanwhile, Buxton's over there eating Munji's saddle. Whoosh. See, not doing anything now, leg's still up. That's okay. Whoosh. Whoosh. So we've been about half an hour into it now. Half an hour's pretty normal. About an hour, about average. Like I said, if a camel just sits down straight away, these type of camels can be a nervous camel. If you're out bush and something happens, they panic easy. So I like the challenge in a camel. Shows me good will, good strong will in an animal. So a camel can stand there on three legs all day. In some countries, they go do their shopping or whatever on a camel, they tie one leg up. Camels, he's got such patience, he's happy to stand there all day like that, waiting for you. So if it does get to the stage we need to, we'll put the second rope around the other leg, and that'll definitely get him down. But we want to give him a chance first to think about this. Whoosh. The reason why he thinks he's so tough is he's got those Cronulla Sharks colours on. See the black and blue? He's part of the Sharks. Hey, I understand, mate. That's what makes you strong. You done that yourself, mate. You know that. Whoosh. Whoosh. Come on, whoosh. Whoosh, whoosh. I can get a knee into me head. I love the way you're thinking. Hey? Yeah. There we go. Get ready for the big royal arse drop here. Right, well there you go, it's about an hour. What I'm going to do is just release his head a bit so he can relax. If I can get the rope off. I've got it pretty tight there, haven't you, big monkey? Well, that's a good challenge with Omar there. He's a very headstrong camel. Like I said years ago, he used to chase people with his front legs, and that makes for a very scary camel. You're up and knee in the face, will you? It's a good thing to do with a camel when you get him down. Have yourself a blanket or a jumper or something. I like to use this. Makes everyone calm. You just touch them all over. Hey, get them used to stuff. like I said, he's got his granola colours on, so it's working for him. Hey, there you go. Touch him all over. Gets him used to touch. It's not hurting him. You can see flinching a little bit. Hey, and that's all right. Hey, look good in the shark's colours, mate. Good on you, Omar. Be saddle time next. And that big fella. You want to whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Yeah. That's it, mate. The dancing camel. So this is Buxton's turn now. Going to predict Buxton. He'll be a lot easier than Omar. But then again, you never know until the rope's over. Oh, got the hook under the belly now, hey, that's a good shot. Yeah, there, big fella, get the position. Right. Alright, Buxton, you want to whoosh, 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 whoosh. Now there you go, what was that? A couple of minutes. Another bloke's trying to get up now over here. We've got pushing to the left of us, pushing to the right of us. Whoosh. 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 Got your trick. So we got John just to put a hook on the holder and pull his head that way. As he's close to the pole there, so there's a good chance I'm going to get a bite. To get the strap on his leg. We want to keep that head out of our way. If you're ever doing this, keep an eye up there on the camel, that's his bad point. So that's it. As you can see, Omar was about an hour. Strong-headed fighting camel. This bloke here is pretty relaxed. See that before me come over. And within a couple of minutes he's sitting down. And naturally he's going to get up, play and fight and have a little bit of a thing, but what's probably been about 15 minutes now. We're already here brushing him. It's a little bit slippery in the back end, but it's a good way to tell if your camel's confident or whether he's nervous or what's going on in the back end. And like I said, with the lips and how they're reacting too, but he's pretty cool. Now look, leaning into him, not a problem. They work it out pretty quick. It's the part I love about camels. They're a smart animal. So once again, we're getting our lucky jersey and just tapping him all over. It's what they call bagging. You're not getting hurt, things flapping around, because things happen out bush. You got a saddle on, blankets flapping around, gear moving around. So this is a good way to get them moving. Makes them extra relaxed because of the rag we're using. Sometimes I do that and then I'll just work my way up and touch them somewhere else or there, so they, and then they just, in the end they don't know where you're coming from, so they just, oh, well, yeah, yep. We haven't gone anywhere, have we? When you realise you're not that scary. When you realise you're not that scary anymore. Couldn't scare him there. So we're just giving him a brush down now, testing out his areas. I like to lean over the hump. You get that little flex in the hump, usually before they're going to pop. That gives me a little bit of warning. Worst case scenario, I fly over the air and land in a bunch of camel poo, that's all right. But doing this helps them get used to the day you're sitting on the saddle. Right, you notice my legs touching him here, all over him, like a monkey. Camels don't mind it. Eh? In fact, in the end, they quite enjoy it. Eh? Aren't you, big fella? Well, that's Omar done there. He's sitting there, he's pretty calm now. Now you can see there's always that big fight in the start. Rightio. Now Omar was a pretty dangerous camel. He was a camel that'd chase you, front leg you. He's been known to do that over his past here at the farm, but he has been settling. So that's why we've come in now to train him to sit down. Now, once again, using that rope method, other videos I've explained why we use that. It's the best way to let a camel understand. It's the battle that they have naturally out in the wild, all the way from young camels right up, coming over pulling that leg up. So now that that's done, he's sitting there all right and we can become mates. Hey, we're going to become mates now. I'm still just keeping that one leg tied down. That just stops him flying up. If he does, he gets up with one leg, he's got the other one. This allows him to work it out. In the start, I might tie two down, especially if they're a lively camel and a bit of a dangerous one. When they start to get it, just the one leg's the only one necessary. He'll work it out. Hey? Mates now, aren't we, big fella? Are we mates? We're mates. Now this is camel poo. Now this is what happens when they're relaxed and naturally out there doing their stuff. It's what happens when they're nervous. You can see back there a little bit slippery. Okay, so the difference between that and that, they sure let you know. Well, that's a pretty good first day. Buxton and Omar. Now, Omar, he was a pretty intense camel. So he's known as a front leg striker. He's got some bit of snappiness in there with his teeth and was quite a dangerous camel. So that's why it's good to get this one over and done with him first. And you can see he's starting to get it. He'll get it over the next couple of coming days. Buxton was born here on the farm. So sometimes the farm bred camels, they can be the hardest to train. Sometimes the wild camels are the easiest because you just pull them out, they're a fresh canvas. But you know, these, like Buxton's been on holidays for a while, so he's going to be a bit stubborn towards it. So it'll be good over the next couple of days. They should be starting to get it, and I'm expecting by about the third day that they're going to be starting to sit on command. So good camels. Good on you boys, and see you tomorrow.